Hello and welcome to Guided Twin Flame Attunement. Tuning into the breath, bringing the breath in through the body, expanding the heart space, grounding and anchoring, dropping in our energies wherever they are dispersed and held out, bringing them back into form, into this now, into perfect alignment. Let's activate the still point of being at the center of being. Tuning into the core column. Good, and starting to note our flows, our connection with Source and to the earth. Harmonizing, starting to call in our energies again into form, bringing in stabilization. We've been working a lot in the body through the root and the crown. So we're going to start working with the divine counterpart in through form, merging the energetics through the form body levels. So we want to start calling out our counterpart anywhere they're locked down, they're locked into entrapment matrices. We're going to start asking them to become aware and opening all doors that lead to their safe passage and deliverance out of the lower realms, out of any imprisonment, any enslavement. Really starting to tone this into our form. Simultaneously, we can open to receive and act as the bridge, as the gate. And we're going to be using the buffer fields of the indigo, pink, and blue rays. These are new containment fields, arced through the heart, anchoring and securing, building and establishing the new templates of form. And we can ask our beloved to step into the sacred space with us now. And as I do so, they just start to departicularize out any lingering energies. And we seal at the gates as they walk into the sacred space. The further and deeper they enter into this sphere, the energies of the old can no longer trace and follow. So we're setting up the meeting space through the embodiment. Good, and feeling the energies, recalibrating down to ground, anchoring, stabilizing, starting to get our spins fully activated and accelerated as we're swapping out energies which are not matching, which cannot step forward. Simultaneously, we're harmonizing the field dynamics at the physical level. We want to go to the mind, to the human mind, and activate the still point. And as well, we're going to invoke for the release of any enslavement, energetics that were arced through the mind. And ask for the immediate removal and release now. And back down in through the embodiment. We're looking in through the feminine aspect to open to do the receiving. And as she does so, she starts to present various gem like templates to the counterpart essence. And she secures them into the appropriate positioning. So this is like a physical level harmonization, activation, which can be applied through the singularity and through the counterpart dynamic. So each is participating. As one steps forward, the other opens to receive, and as the other steps forward, the opposite is reciprocated. As well, we're having an activation occurring through the third eye. Many source light templates continuing to activate and seed in the pure tone energetic infrastructure into form. We're just having some recalibration now up through the high heart. The physical form is going through major transits. A lot of work being done through the high heart and into the throat. Simultaneously, we're swapping out from the collective and from our, let's say, karmic residue of the past year, anywhere we really dropped in deeply to dig up some old rooting. All this work is completing, and it's now coming up just for a final review as we're entering into the solar gates through the eclipse. So just to be aware as fear starts to come up, as we start to be re-triggered, but we've already done the work. This is just almost as if a systems check to make sure that everything is ready to go. When we walk through the gate, it's going to be lifted and dispersed out. So ensuring that everything is in divine and proper order. We're in perfect alignment moving into the gate. We're going to start running harmonizers again through each energetic center. And this is all to be held through the internal mechanics, nothing to be held external through this transit. So a real deepening and turning within, shutting down and closing off from all external inputs as much as possible to become very streamlined, very contained, so that we walk forward with less confusion, as so much review is coming up through the mental bodies, as well purging out through the emotional bodies. Let's harmonize down into the high heart now, and it's seeding in the blue tones. Having us fully contained and holding these higher energies into our form now, into the unified gates, through the unified infrastructure of our being, fully contained, fully established. And let's cease any wanting and return into pure knowing. Return again to the absolute knowing that all is working for your highest potential and realization within all instances, and to be free flowing through all instances, to be in a simultaneous state of expansion and release. Good. A lot of upheaval occurring through the external realities. We want to continue to build and extend our internal hub, our internal spheres, activating the unified template of our being, and grounding and locking this down into form. And let's update to our appropriate grid line coordinates. So some of us may have already started to been shifted off grid points, starting to be uprooted. We want to call in the proper sequencing and allowing this to infuse up through our core, allowing this to be read in through our bioenergetic dynamics to get the most perfect and correct alignments in place and coordinate systems. Updating the magnetics on our feet. And just toning through the indigo field. Assisting all flashpoints into full activation. Harmonizing again to our grid lines. Fortifying and sealing all intercepts. Really feel a lot of adjustments occurring through the ground states, through our live reality. Let's drop out any tension, any fear, any trepidation of what the future holds. And do not base the future on the past, only the pure and integral alignment of what is. Being fully open to all potential. Continuing to birth and open. And grounding all this work down again, locking it into place, fully fortified, sealed, and contained. And before we close out, we're just touching into the heart of our counterpart, as well touching their form. So really feeling the physical, them in our physical vicinity, very, very close. And this is starting to bring up emotions. So again, harmonizing, holding our state. So much power, so much love, being in deep reverence for this blessed time upon the earth. And honoring one another. And so it is.